What's up, guys? How we doing? Tuesday night hangout? Like normal? Hey, we're starting on time. We're doing good. What's up, Bigley? How's it going? Anybody else, wherever you're listening from, let me know. I'll give you a shout out. It's good. These are the diehards. You know that you're in with the fanatics because there's not as much going on right now. We will get into the minimal Eagles news, what's transpired, things like that. But there's not as much going on at the moment, and that's a good thing. Not a lot of drama, as opposed to some other times during past off seasons, or certainly coming off of a Super Bowl win. So make sure to drop a like if you haven't already. Appreciate you guys on that. Speaking of Die Hard, by the way, just a shout out real quickly to the sponsor of the live stream here, but Die Hard Addicts. So I know you've had lots of you guys asking about the t-shirts, the t-shirt game that I rep sometimes. A lot of those are Die Hard Addicts. So if you click on the link in the description or just go to diehardaddicts.com, use code Philly Special, get 10% off of your purchase, and appreciate them for the sponsorships. And also, again, the reason, and we thank all of the sponsors, but we can only do the giveaways because of the sponsors. And this is one right here, BG signed Super Bowl jersey, the one that we were supposed to be giving away. Unfortunately, we didn't have it claimed. So it means great news for everybody in the live stream. Stick around. We are going to give that away to someone present on the live stream, but you do have to be present during this live stream. So probably in 30-ish, 40-ish minutes, something like that, I will spin. I'll let everybody know what the actual word is, the key word. This thing will get shipped out. I mean, this thing is legit. I think I told everybody last time, but these are like stitched on letters, logo, signed from BG himself. Appreciate him coming on for the interview last week. I think the days were running together during the off season. But Shane, what's up? Watermelon, Mr. Manu. We're 58 days from kickoff. Believe it or not, we're the hunter away. Trent Cole, baby, or Jalyx if we want to do that. Kevin, Zachary, what's up? Jorge, Saquon Fanatic, Fanny. How's it going with the cool kids? Christian, Nat, I know, Josh on time. It's things are going crazy. Not normally on time. We're here. We made it. Nate, Nathaniel from Savannah. Speaking of, Nolan Smith's going to have his Pups Day out, I believe, in 5 days. So you go to Nolan Smith's page also. You can donate to that. You can get tickets, attend the event. Not a bad time there. Kramer says need to stop streaming during thunderstorms. Yeah, is it not the best weather over there? Mr. Mon, appreciate that. Joe Birds. It is. It's also the bird's birthday. Forgot about that. What, 92 years? Was that what I read? Is that accurate? What did I see that it was 92 years? It can't be that, right? Or was it before? It's something to that effect. Maybe I'm making that up. Morgue World, big love, shout out to the squad. Go Birds. There you go. Lawrence from Camden. Yeah, of course. We get a Trent Cole shout out. Why not? Mart's boy, Ronnie, Tyrone, Nina. How's it going? Dr. Jen. Justin, yeah, you say you want it? There you go. Red CG, Go Birds, 29th birthday's tomorrow. Happy birthday to the Super Bowl champs. Heck yeah. Okay, so your birthday. Maybe you get some better luck for the BG jersey. We will spin for that. Get some other Eagles news that we'll get into. Also, just a kind of a Q&A session, naturally. Mr. Manu as well, yes, 100%. Prayers for Brian Brayman. You did spell it correctly, so good for you there. Yeah, mentioned that in the last video. Brayman fighting cancer, prayers for him. And I said this before, but I mean, seriously, it can't be said enough. So if I'm repeating myself, that's perfectly fine. This community is the best. You guys are the best. It makes the channel what it is. But the rallying around each other whenever somebody's down, I mean, the support, the donations that came piling in before, but obviously then once sharing, was just crazy. So thank you guys. As I said, every little bit helps. And the fact that a former Eagle, a guy like Brian Brayman, who was a beast on special teams. But what he's going through in his family and everything else. So you guys are the best, like I say. Can't thank you enough. Speaking of some giveaways, though, I might as well get it jump started here. We'll do the BG one as I mentioned later, but we might as well go with some memberships. So there we go. Let's start with a little 5. Tyrone's getting one. 63 Mortis. Tucky Neutron. D Money and Herb. Getting the memberships. Congrats. Matt, no way. You met Trent Cole. When was that? Frank, did I win a giveaway? Maybe. Also, again, congrats to those that are winning the memberships. I did have somebody ask, I think Wild Birch Acres maybe, or someone ask about the members and the giveaways there. We are going to do the member giveaways, which we did last season, but we will do the member giveaways. Frank, I know you're hoping you won. There's maybe a better chance with the members, but it will be for the members only. We did ticket giveaways. We'll do other things as well, but there will be member giveaways probably starting back up once we have training camp, certainly during the season. So we got a ton of those. But yes, there will be. LA Kid, are we still getting the Saquon emoji? Bro, we've had it for a while. We have 2 of them. Here, I'll show 2 of them. I mean, I might get another one, but I really need to work on a Nolan one. All right, look. There's the Saquon. It's the fly Saquon fly. And then it was just a very easy, quick play on Superman, but there's your SB. There you go. I can't choose who gets the membership, but see, I'm just saying. Maybe some people miss. It's a little smaller with the emoji versus whenever I put it up there. Okay, yeah, you're just seeing it now. No worries. See, I need to get a Nolan one, though. I got to do like something with the dice. The live streams are going to be lit, though. I mean, they were last year, but we're working on some stuff that should make it even more animated. So, like, when there's a sack, for example, we may have something with Nolan rolling the dice. There will be other instances. Maybe something with Saquon. Kind of have to. Yeah. Just access for members. Just another extra bit. So, congrats to you guys. Here, we'll do 5 more. Just, for the heck of it. Justin's in favor. Okay, good. I'm making sure. Justin's in favor of the Nolan emoji. Zachary, you got one. William, Batman's twin. Saquon fanatic, Tyler Braswell. Okay, so this is going to get me off a little bit on a tangent, but I think the Superman movie coming out has some Batman. Am I mistaken? Can somebody back me up on this? Is the Superman movie, I saw some of the soundtrack. One of those tracks, I think it was like track 7. It really sounds like Batman. Am I making that up, or can somebody back me up? I know that's way off on a tangent, but Corey, yes, the website is going. I mean, the website's up. Anthony's been writing like crazy, so kudos to him for that. Different articles and everything else popped up. Recently talked about Bryce Huff, so we could get into that if you guys want to. We'll see. Maybe get something there. But unfortunately, he will not be joining for the stream, so he's busy. What was the other one? Oh, wait. Did I miss one of the comments? Kramer, did I hear about Justin Simmons? I think your video did my video work? Is there anything different, or are people just making up the same thing? I didn't see if there was extra news. Was there? What are we? I gotta look this up now. What are we? I mean, was it just speculation? Because I think I saw like a an aggregator account. Yeah, was it just like an aggregator account saying like, oh, Justin Simmons wants to sign with a Super Bowl contender? Panthers and Eagles interest, like they just throw that out there. Like, okay, you're just messing with it. Oh, well, you got me. Okay. You never know. There's not much going on these days. So it's like, wait a second. That is the intent, though. Like, whenever I put the video out there, obviously Anthony and I talked about it. It's like, hey, just put Justin Simmons on the thumbnail. Maybe that'll be it. Batman's twin. Appreciate the 2. Thank you for that. What's good, Josh? Keep up the good work. Thank you, guys. Means a ton. Muhammad, you just have no luck. It doesn't matter how many of those get given away. For some reason, you can't get the membership. Apologies. Somebody saying Bryce Huff's jerseys on clearance. Saquon Fanatic, $29.99. It should be $0.99 for the amount of play. What he did, yeah, Dr. Jen, it should be $10.99 at least, like at most. John M, what's up? How's it going, brother? Frank, you finally got an AJ Super Bowl jersey. Sheesh. Is that meaning you just finally bought it or it finally showed up? Because I'll tell you, I've ordered multiple Super Bowl jerseys and they've taken like an eternity to show up. So I don't know which one. Going back through some of the comments, making sure I didn't miss it. Abid, happy 92 years. There you go. Lawrence, you would know if you win the membership. It should tell you if you do. It would also have a helmet next to your name. So unfortunately, you did not. I'm sorry. It's totally random. Okay, yeah. Fanatics taking forever. Figures. Seems to be the case. There you go. Abid, you got another shout out. Look at that. Good point. Bigley says you do have to turn an option on your profile to receive the gift memberships. I forgot about that. You do have to go there. You click on the, well, depends on what device you're on, but for me, it's on the bottom right. You click on it, gifting memberships. You click there to accept gifts, I believe, and then you should be fine. Okay, so we can get into really any sort of news topics, wherever you guys want to go with this. I figure we'll just start with Bryce Huff because that got brought up a second ago. And again, kind of a Q&A, rapid fire, back and forth. This thing will be all over the place, but it's the offseason. So let me make sure I can actually put this up. Yeah, here we go. So talked about it a while back on a video. It's been out there a little bit. Bryce Huff going on a 49ers podcast, talking about wanted to be traded fairly early on, plethora of things that went down, not getting into the specifics. I knew it was headed fairly early on to the season, even training camp, if I'm being honest. There's more to the quote. I shared that in the last video that got posted. But, I think that there was a lot of that we could tell very early on of what to expect from Bryce Huff as we started to see in those games. But then you go back and you're like, man, this dude was like halfway in, halfway out, all the way back at training camp. Like, if he's being honest there and saying, like, yeah, at training camp, I kind of knew it wasn't going to work out. I needed to get traded. And it was looking out for himself. So the system, the scheme doesn't necessarily work. Look, I'm okay with the fact that, fine, like he's made the statement also of undrafted free agent, don't get the signing bonus like other rookies do, trying to make a bag. But you got paid. I mean, he got paid a really good amount. So to be, a couple months into it? I mean, barely into training camp, but a couple months into it and already like, nah, this ain't going to work. No, sorry. I just, I get that there's bad fits. I made the joke of, you can, do you show up and on the first day or two of orientation, and you're like, yeah, this ain't going to work out for me. You're getting paid a whole lot of money to make that decision that early on. Yeah, like Saquon Fanatic says, bro gave up before the season even started. He did. It sounds like it. LA kid, please stop talking about that bum Bryce Huff. Weakest mentality I've ever seen since Ben Simmons. Well, I figured we would at least bring him up, because he's talked about Philly. There's not a whole lot of extra news there. Chad, we can talk about the secondary, though. So let's talk about it. I'm worried. Worried about which part specifically. Secondary is very broad. I have an idea, but follow up on that. Super influential. You're late. You're late. No big deal. We're still going a while. Only got 60 likes, though. If you guys want to drop a like in the meantime. Shane, don't think he had the intelligence to play the scheme. Talking about Bryce Huff. Is Bluff the new nickname? Is that where people are going with it? That's interesting. I don't know if I've seen that one until tonight. Hey, look at there, Matt with a 10. 10 Philly Special Show memberships. Congrats. Jeremy, Brian, we're not going to see Muhammad, I can guarantee you. Brian, Dante, Nathaniel, JM, Brian, Stuff, Ham Solo, Dre the Don, CS, Rob Thompson. Knew it. No Muhammad. Matt, you're the man. Appreciate that. Always gifting out the memberships. MVP. Nate says Ringo's going to show out. He's ready. I think so. I definitely think so. I'm coming around on it even more. I was towards that direction, but there will be a video drop tomorrow, and we'll tease this right now. But interview with an Eagles player took place today. Should be dropping that tomorrow, sometime middle of the day-ish, most likely. And it is in the secondary. I'll give you that. So a little more insight into just the life of a secondary player. Won't say who. But yes, I'm excited for that group. Let's see. Shane, does the defense look better this year? That's an interesting... I mean, I don't think we're fully going to know until, honestly, a couple weeks into the season. Because, heck, we didn't really know until... I mean, what? Honestly, if we're week 8, week 7, week 8, I mean, there was some inconsistency. The defense played better than the offense early on, but there was still inconsistency. So, and lesser against the Browns. I mean, and then people are kind of like, yeah, but it's the Browns, then the Giants. It's like, yeah, but it's just the Giants. Like, there were always excuses. So I don't know that you make that case until week 7 or 8. Probably similar for this season. There's a lot of positivity, but I just wouldn't go like full bore on it. Like, okay, yeah, number 1 defense in the NFL. I think they're going to be good. Like, the national criticism to me feels like people are discrediting the fact that they were the number 1 defense. Totally understand the point of, yes, did we lose guys? Absolutely. Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, Brandon Graham, Slay, CJ, some by choice of Howie, but, we won't necessarily get into that unless somebody brings it up, really. So, yes, there's missing pieces. 10 of 11 offensive guys back. Not as many questions there. But I still think you go back to, again, say, entering last year, that defense was, 28th, 29th in the league? I understand, completely different defensive coordinator. But 28th, 29th in the league, and then all the way to number 1 in one season. So, yes, you missed some pieces. But I think they could be at that same level. There's question marks. You got to have some edges show up and play well. We got the linebacker with the injuries. But, I mean, Jihaad Campbell looks fantastic. So that's great news. Hopefully ready for training camp. Should be definitely by August, it sounds like. But hopefully before that and get ready for training camp July 23rd. I'm believing it. Yes, it'll always have some questions, but I am. Beckett says, I'm excited to see Kelee Ringo this season. Chad, going back to your worried about the secondary, you say Ringo and safety. Okay. I figured that was the case. I just, Ringo's got the tools. We'll say it a million different ways of it, but A.J. Brown has mentioned Kelee Ringo and his potential. He's just got to be able to live up to that. But if it's good enough for AJ, it's good enough for me. I'm excited to see him play. I really am. And we're going to get a taste of it early on with George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. So, how does he match up there? But I think that he's your cornerback too. They did make moves for a reason. You got to have the reps, get the guys out there to see what they have. Safety, a little more interesting. Do you go Drew Mukuba? Devontae Smith getting a little bit of attention there, but Sidney Brown, he looked decent at times during his rookie year. Last year, I think, was more of a wash because he was coming off that ACL injury, didn't get in training camp at all, trying to adjust, finally plays a little bit of special teams. And then there's Tristan McCollum, who I think that, some people are sleeping on. He's got some good talent ability. Vic Fangio has mentioned him in the past, and I think that it's one of those players that whenever you hear Vic Fangio bring up a guy unsolicited, it means a little bit of something. Frank, I just seen this one here. New subscribe people better be ready when Josh and Thomas go live during the games, and I always talk my ish. Full heads up now, so don't take offense to it. Get out there. Everybody's passionate during the live streams. I'm looking forward to it. If you know, you know. I'm hard to deal with. Yeah, well, everybody manages things differently. And in stressful situations, the true colors are shown. Some things are said that maybe are regretted or just kind of like, wow, I really lost it for a moment. But that's what the stream is for, as we try to keep it as, I don't know, as under wraps and in control as possible. But sometimes it gets a little out there. Trina, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Hopefully you are too. Prayers for Central Texas. I know that the rains and the floods, awful. What's happened there? But hopefully you're fine. Stay safe. Thank you for asking. We're doing okay. Let's see. Jesus was saying Mukuba. Can't wait to see him play. Where was the other one? Alfredo, don't make us wait all day for that interview. Drop it around 10 to 12 a.m. Like 10 p.m. to midnight. Now, there's some more editing. There's some more stuff that goes into play with that. Beckett, they should host on Exciting Mind. That would be cool. I'm available if they ever want to. I think they took a little bit of a break. Bigley, yes, I am happy with the interview. Marvin, what's up? Seeing your comment there. This is Josh, my guy. Jeremy, I think that membership was courtesy of Matt. So saying thank you for the membership. Lewis says, for as long as Vic Fangio has players he can teach, fit into a system, I believe the defense is fine, but may take 5 games. There you go. See, like last year, to get it all together with the new additions. It's kind of the way that I feel, too. Take some time. You'll be all right. Muhammad, yo, Josh, who's the safety that the only iffy part we have other than that, we're set. I think Ringo will step up. The rest, we have good. Except safety, it's iffy. Might be the only one. Only position. That's fair. It is what it is. I mean, that's the spot where if CJ Gardner, like think about it. If CJ Gardner-Johnson, regardless of anything that transpired or whatever, moving on how he needed to because of the chemistry and morale, which I will also bring up a little bit. If he hadn't moved on then we'd be looking at this going like, okay, you got Reed Blankenship, you got CJ GJ, you got Zach Bond, Jihaad Campbell, Nakobe Dean. Linebackers are good. Interior defensive line. Edges, some people are questioning on. I think they're going to be fine. Could be better than even last year. Corners, Coop, Kelee, Ringo, maybe if you have a question there. But overall, it'll be perfectly fine. Personally. So, yeah. It makes sense. I think the thing that it's not a given, obviously, every single... you can't expect this, but at the same time, it's Vic Fangio being able to identify talent and turn them into really good players, and also, give credit and praise to Christian Parker as well. So the defensive backs coach deserves a lot of that. But it's not to say that you can't have a guy in one season that turns into the playmaker that you want. Now, we're not saying that they're all pro, but Zach Bond, as much as even for some of us that called him being a starter, I never said that he was going to be an all-pro. I just thought he'd be a starter. I thought they'd be like, hey, he's got some promise. Watch out what's Fangio's saying. Keep an eye out. Looks like Zach Bond will start. Said that back during minicamp. Turned out to start. But again, I don't think anybody envisioned like, oh, yeah, let's have this dude who barely played off-ball linebacker and then turn into an incredible all-pro. Still trusting the safety spot. Matt, that's also a fair point. With our defensive line, backside only has to hold up for a few seconds. Don't have to very long. Ty Robinson, going to be a monster. Mukuba looks good. Mohamed Sane looks good, but I don't know about starting. It would take a lot, although we have seen it, Fangio said last year even, he's like, hey, rookies, they need to be able to play. We're not an expansion team, but if they can, then they're going to get to play. But you might see somebody else. Doesn't matter where they were drafted, how much they're getting paid. I mean, we have seen that. Bryce Huff, didn't matter. Paying him all this money? Nope. Not going to get out there on the field because you can't do it. So it doesn't really matter. Jerry with a 2. Appreciate that, Jerry. Are you still concerned about the right guard? I'm not. I'm believing in Tyler Steen. I mean, I think with this group, Cam Jurgens you believe in, Lane Johnson you believe in, Tyler Steen, perfect situation. You get to play next to Lane Johnson, and man, that makes life a whole lot easier, as we've seen for a bunch of different right guards. It's like it almost, and I'm not trying to take anything away from Mekhi Becton, but it's like it almost doesn't matter who gets inserted at right guard. Cam Jurgens played right guard. He's a better center. He's a much better center. I think that we would all agree with that. But he played right guard, and he was serviceable. It worked out. It was fine. Mekhi Becton, right guard for the first time in his career. Fantastic. Unbelievable. Ended up getting a contract to go to the Chargers to be able to do that. So I'm just saying, you insert Tyler Steen, who was supposed to be the starter before he got injured, over Mekhi Becton, and I think he'll be fine. I think it'll be all right. Will it be to the same level of Mekhi Becton? I don't know. Is Tyler Steen the same type of run blocker? Probably not. But like to how much and to what extent? If the guys stay healthy, the running game is going to be phenomenal. They're going to be fine. Pass blocking will be good. Heck, we're probably going to have more of a ground and pound with a fullback this year. Ben Van Sumeren sounds healthy, going to be there for training camp. I am curious, like, how many times are we going to see the Eagles line up with a fullback in formation? We're going to get some I formation perhaps, or under center plays, running it with Ben Van Sumeren. That's going to get me pretty excited because we saw it in 22 plays, if I'm not mistaken, last year. That's all it was, 22 plays. But the Eagles were averaging over 6 yards a carry. So when he was out there, and we saw a dominant running game, and something that a lot of defenses don't prepare for because they don't see it ever. But it would be an interesting wrinkle to add to the offense and go, well, okay, you got to stop Saquon, but this is not your typical lined up in the pistol or lined up in shotgun and hand it off. Instead, like, oh, hey, they're actually lining up under center with a fullback. I really hope we see that. I hope we see, like, 100-plus snap. I mean, it'd be fantastic. Shane, I think the biggest mystery is week 1 starting linebackers. Well, it is for health. I mean, 100% it is for health. I think as of right now, if I had to put money on it, I probably would still lean towards Jeremiah Trotter Jr. And he's, like, let's be honest, Trot is completely getting forgotten about. I mean, I'm guilty of that as well, but he's completely getting forgotten about. It is, there's Zach Bond, and then it's like, okay, well, Nakobe Dean and his rehab, Jihaad Campbell looks good. All right, sweet, maybe one of them. And Trot barely gets brought up. But it's a very realistic possibility that he's out there as a starter next to Bond. And if he plays well, I mean, it's a great problem to have, but if he plays well for 2, 3, 4 weeks, I don't know how long it's going to take those guys to get ready, then you got a real problem, I guess we call it that. It's a, like I say, it's a good one to have, but a problem of, do you take him out of the lineup if he's playing well next to Bond? Or you say, okay, now it gives us like options for Jihaad Campbell to play him in specific instances. Same for Nakobe Dean. I mean, I would be surprised. I will say I would be surprised if Nakobe Dean is ready like before, I don't know, close to the midpoint of the season, just the way that those injuries typically are. But he seems to be ahead of schedule. He keeps saying that. I mean, I hope he is for his sake. But I'm telling you, it just feels like one of those situations. It could be better than what we anticipate. You have too many linebackers, or at least potential of too many linebackers. Lawrence, that's like being smushed between two forklifts in terms of those players. LA Kid, yeah, there you go. Congrats to Reed on his wedding. I forgot about that. Yes, he did have the interview, or did have the wedding. Shane, was the interview a rookie last year? It was not. Alfredo, the interview will be tomorrow. You say just drop whenever time, just be tomorrow, please. Yes, it will. It'll be tomorrow. Matt, just saw your comment about the plaque. There we go. Appreciate that. Zach, have a constant rotation, keeps guys fresh. Yeah, you're not wrong. I don't know if I necessarily want, and I'm assuming you're talking about linebackers still, unless we switched over to defensive line. I just don't know if I want to do that with my linebackers. I get it for keeping guys fresh with the defensive line, but if we're doing it with linebackers, that one feels like you want guys out there that are just, hey, you're playing the game. You're getting the feel of it. It's more of a, I wouldn't say it's like a rhythm thing like a quarterback necessarily, but still it's like you got to be out there to see things and start to notice a pattern. I think if you're rotating those, it's a little bit different than D-line. People are trying to guess. Nat is the player from Tacoma, Washington. I'm not telling where these players are from. I'm not telling anymore. I can't give anything else away. Anthony, appreciate that with the 2. Says, Jihaad looking impressive on the workout, John, though. He is. That's what we were bringing up just a second ago. He is definitely looking impressive, getting in the work. If you did not see it, I think I've got the clip here. I can play it for people. If you've not seen Jihaad Campbell getting in the work, and as Anthony DeBona says in the tweet there and sharing that, but the fact that he's doing rip moves with both shoulders, having the shoulder injury, trying to get 100%, it is promising. Moving at full speed. It'll be out there. J.A., will I be at the season opener? Go Birds. I am hoping to, but I at best, it's like 50-50. So we'll see. Really, really hoping to. Donald's going with Trotter being the surprise at camp. I love it. I'm telling you, people are sleeping on Trot. Don't forget about him. He legit could be the starting lineup. Shane saying would have never guessed 2 years ago we had too many great linebackers. I would not have either. So it was a very little value to the position. I mean, could you imagine really for both that you're going to pay your linebacker and your running back as much money as you are? I mean, all praise, credit to guys like Zach Bond and Saquon Barkley, but could you ever envision that Howie Roseman was going to pay that type of money? So, you learn, you evolve, you change, you get better over time, and you correct some things, or you just change the philosophy. Fanny with a 5, appreciate that. Says that the fact that we brought Vic his first ring ever in his 30-plus year career says a lot about the chemistry he has with us. I see more before retiring. That is a fantastic point. Yes. He's only going to be here until he retires. He's not going anywhere else, as he said, so that's good news. But I think you're right. I think it's the chemistry. It's the right guys on the team. They've got each other's back. Talked about this a little bit in the other video, but you can see it from the moves that Howie Roseman's made. I mean, it kind of goes back and forth with both of those statements there, but the moves that Howie Roseman's made and who he's willing to stick with and also who he's willing to move on from. It's not even necessarily like you look at C.J. Gardner-Johnson from a talent and ability standpoint. It didn't make sense for him to get traded. I'm sorry, and I'm pretty sure that as time's gone on, everybody has hopefully come to the conclusion that, yes, as we've been saying, the rumors and whatnot and everything else, that there's a little bit more of reasons why or why not that he kind of needed to be traded and that he wore out his welcome. Good luck to him in Houston. But the Eagles felt that way, and it was not only cash cap reasons. So, but Howie sees that, and he's like, look, it's too important. The guys that are here, the talent, sure, there's an element there, but the chemistry and the morale, those are huge, huge as we've seen. And he's going to protect that. So you move on from certain players, you pay certain players. Bryce Huff made a mistake. Anthony DeBona, I'll include a link in the description for people watching this back, but a link to the last article, or just go to thephillyspecialshow.com if you want to check out the article. But wrote a great piece on the reasons and what Howie has changed. In the past, the Eagles may not have moved on from Bryce Huff. They don't matter, well, we paid him money, so we're going to stick with him, try to make this thing work. Look, you don't want a downer in the locker room. You don't want a guy who talks like Bryce Huff at the Super Bowl getting interviewed. I'm sorry. Like, I understand if you came from nothing, a UDFA, you're trying to make your bag, totally makes sense. But at the Super Bowl and you get asked questions like that, if you want to be a team player, the number of other guys that are still on this roster that I have had the opportunity to ask, or you go and listen to a ton of different press conferences of media members there asking them and saying, hey, what do you think about this? Cooper DeJean, do you want to play on the outside? You can make more money. Sure. Is he thinking it? Maybe so, and fine. But like publicly, is he going to say it? Absolutely not. Because he totally gets it. He's locked in. He's bought in to the bigger reason that this team has of, you know what, a little bit of self-sacrifice will get you a championship. You sacrifice a little bit there, and it's not for everybody. So Bryce Huff, go to San Francisco, see how it works out for you. But for the guys that are sticking around, Jalyx Hunt saying the same thing, like, hey, what are your goals? What do you want to do this year? Whatever the team needs me to do. He could totally go out there and he could be like, hey, I want to start. I'm going to win the starting job. That's also not necessarily wrong, but I just appreciate it even that much more because you see the chemistry of every single player that's like, whatever is asked of me. Can't be great without the greatness of others. Kudos to Nick Sirianni. Totally has the locker room. A huge change from, like the fan standpoint, but I think that he had it, and then it increased even more, and you go through the trial by fire like that, and the chemistry, there's just something extra special about this team on top of, then you start going on paper and say, yeah, this is a pretty good squad. You got 10 of 11 offensive starters returning, as we said. The best, based on a lot of other rankings, but we're biased, so we would agree with it, but ESPN ranked the Eagles as the number one group in terms of, skill players, running back, receiver, tight end. Got a really good quarterback. Number one offensive line, ranking-wise, based on PFF, ESPN, and some others. Makes sense. Jalen Carter, according to, I think, scouts, executives, and coaches, the third best interior defensive lineman behind Chris Jones and Dexter Lawrence. Yeah, there's lots of reasons to be hyped about this squad, but I think you're spot on. There's something with the chemistry and how they fit with Vic Fangio. Is a match made in heaven. It didn't work for Miami. Miami's players did not want to put in the extra work. They did not want to be coached hard. They did not want to be called out. They weren't willing to do that. But for the talent and the players in Philly, they have that extra moment. And there's a reason why you draft a lot of Philly dogs. There's a reason why that works. They're used to it from the coaching they got from Kirby Smart. But the old school mentality, it pays off for those that are willing to get coached. So yes. As you can tell, I'm totally bought in on the defense. Tyler Butcher with a 5. Appreciate that, man. Said, realistically speaking, when would you start getting nervous if the start gets shaky? Like if we go 2-3. This is an interesting hypothetical here. I have not gone there, quite honestly, because I don't anticipate that happen. But let's see. Let's get the full schedule pulled up real quick and just envision if that were to happen. Because there's some, the schedule is tough for a reason because you're getting the first place schedule. Let's see if I can get it all on screen here. Yeah. All right. Oh, I think it froze on me. Hang on. Let's see. Here we go. Is it going to work on me? There we go. Okay. Now I can move it. It wasn't letting me move the screen. So, yeah, if we're 2-3, as Tyler was saying, I don't know. I mean, I guess, and it's a difficult question because it's hypothetical, and I don't know how that looks. Like, if it's 2-3 and they're close games, and depending on how you're playing and what the issues have been, okay. Looking at that group there, if we've lost 3 of the first 5 games, yeah, there's some concern, but I still think that the squad could turn it around and be fine. 1-4, I mean, absolutely. Okay, 1-4, that's big time. Like, whoa, something's majorly wrong. 2-3, yeah, I guess so. It'd be about that number. I don't expect that. If it's 3-2, not feeling great. But I guess I still go back to the fact that it's like, look, we started 2-2 and hit the bye week. Like 2-2, there were some could have been 3-1, the drop against Atlanta, but nonetheless, still 2-2. So depending on how that looks, like if it's 3-2, I got to be patient. We saw a similar thing. Sometimes the guys just got to pick things up a little bit more, get locked in. You have some new changes and differences with the defense. Maybe you're seeing that. Is it the play calling the offense? Are they trying to figure out their new vibe with Kevin Patullo? So 3-2, I would say I'm okay. Wouldn't feel great. Yes, we want to win all of them, of course. But if it's 3-2, I'm okay. 2-3, starting to get a little bit nervous, but I'm still not totally like doom and gloom, even though there's, the bye weeks later this time and not in week 5. It's an interesting question. I don't think that we'll be there. I'll just reiterate, but appreciate the question. Zachary with a 5. Thanks, man. Says, let's talk about the commies and how JD is getting all this hype, even though the Eagles put out the blueprint on how to beat them. 55 points of B2A. That they did. I like that they're getting all the hype, but you're right. I mean, the Commanders, everybody's like, man, look out, Jaden Daniels. And talked about this a number of different times on a couple of videos. But they're viewed as this young team, this young up-and-coming team, but they're not a young team. They're a very old team. 29 guys, I believe. Is it 30 or 20, 29 or 30 guys who are older, 29 years or older. It's a lot of aging veterans on the Washington Commanders with Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is the young, up-and-coming, a lot of hype around the quarterback, made it to the NFC Championship game. But regression is coming for him. It's the stats, the analytics. Go back and look at some of the games that they won. Do you want to call them luck? I mean, Hail Mary doesn't happen very often. Fine, they won the game. Don't call it luck. It's just natural, a little bit of regression to the mean with that squad. They were shaky in pass defense. They were really shaky against the run. The defense didn't really, in my opinion, get much better even with the acquisitions. A little bit with some of the draft picks, but even then, you don't necessarily know. And I'm not sure what they were doing to stop the run. They didn't add anybody else to me that helps them. So, the 55 points, like I think Jaden Daniels could still be pretty good this year. Will he be at the same level of last year? I don't think so. But I don't know that it'll be necessarily as drastic as like, okay, wow, he's like playing terrible because he's a playmaker. Like he's a game breaker waiting to happen. He's got incredible talent. But the Commanders as a whole, there's no way. I would be shocked if they repeat what they did last year. Good on them. More power to them. I will be. The analytics say 4 fewer wins than they had last year. So you're talking about a team that could be 8-9 instead of a squad that was going all the way to the NFC Championship game. But people are gonna pump them up, and that's okay. And the same thing for the Cowboys. The Cowboys are getting lots of hype. Although I do think that, as I said on another live stream, I think Dallas is second in the division. Picking it as of, early July. But if I had to pick who's getting second in the division, I'm going Dallas. Third is the Commanders, and fourth is the Giants. Chad Brown with a 5. Have you seen on FS1 the BS reasons they're saying Jalen is a top 5 quarterback? I have not. Is that so you're saying the reasons they're saying he is, or is that the reason they're saying he isn't? Because I'm used to seeing nobody giving Jalen Hurts even a top 5. Like, some people are leaving him off their top 10 list. Is that, I'm going back to look because I'm getting to these super chats in order, so I may be a little bit late. Is that are you saying the reason it isn't? I'm intrigued now of like why they're saying that. If there's a follow-up there, Chad, just let me know. I mean, I've seen the hate towards Jalen, like, oh, he's got the super team, everything else. Yeah, appreciate the one too. I didn't see a comment, but thanks for the support. But yeah, the reason that Jalen Hurts. Okay, Chad. All right, cool. You didn't have to super chat that back. You could have just commented, but I appreciate that. Okay, so that he isn't. That's what I assumed. Yeah, I have not seen it, but I can imagine he's got this super team. Would he have won on any other team with his stats and blah blah blah? It's like he did what he did to win the game for the Eagles. So based on the team, the way it was built, he had to do or make the plays that he did, and it was a run-first team. He still won the games. When it came down to it, the games that he did need to show up, he showed up. It blows my mind that regardless of whatever he does, no matter how much he does in the biggest moment, when the lights are the brightest and some other quarterbacks do not, he shows up. Done it in 2 Super Bowls against the Chiefs. It's crazy how many. Yes, I understand the Eagles have an incredible offense. They do. Cool. But the amount of slander to Jalen Hurts, even when he shows up and makes plays the way that he does and makes the throws, like you could take any sort of situation, any sort of example that you want to. The dagger, all right, fine. Smitty, great route, absolutely. Win your route, get in a position to make plays. Offensive line blocks for Jalen, great. But you know how many quarterbacks could potentially miss and maybe would miss the throw there? Like Jalen puts it spot on. It's right on the money. The timing, the throw, and it's just time and time again. You go back and look at the game, you watch the film, there's lots of different breakdowns of the exact changes or the audibles or what Jalen was seeing and where he's throwing the football. It was a phenomenal game. But no, if he plays well, it's everybody else around him that's helping him to do that. And if he plays poorly, then it's all on him. So I don't know. If nothing else, as we continue to say, it's like, look, you keep doubting him, that's fine. He sees it, and he's used that as extra fuel and motivation. So if it leads us for another Super Bowl, I mean, I'm okay with it. It's just crazy how, again, you can have a guy that is one of the winningest quarterbacks and just keeps doing it. That's all that he does, really. And he just doesn't get that recognition. But, it's fine. I will say this. It's the Eagles offseason, and shout out to Tommy Lawler of the Eagles Blitz, who wrote about this, actually, saying that it's been a drama-free offseason. It's one of the best things for the Eagles, especially in the fact that it's coming off of a Super Bowl, right? Because in the case that Tommy made here was saying the best example in 2005, you come off of the Super Bowl appearance, T.O. went nuclear, and started 3-1, went 3-9 after that. So sometimes you see whether it's the Super Bowl hangover, is it guys that are irritated, whatever. But there's just instances of extra drama that unfolds. I think that's another reason of Howie looking and deep diving on this team and going like, do we have the right guys? Yes, you need the skills, but do we have the right guys to repeat this? Do we have guys that are going to settle, or do we have guys that are continue to say, nope, it's not good enough? I'm going to put the team first. It's not good enough. We're going to keep getting better. And if there's any issues to that, then, you see some guys move on, or you just don't hang around. Tommy also said 2018, Wentz, the drama there, made the playoffs, but it did kind of feel like after that Super Bowl that Wentz was trying to prove himself too much, trying to do too much. Like he was the guy. Yes, there was Nick behind him, but he was kind of his team trying to prove too much there. And then obviously 2023, we realize and remember very closely of what happened there. But the new coordinators and just all the drama and Sean Desai not really being great, but it's players not really playing for each other. Reddick hunting sacks. Desai getting fired-ish, demoted. Patricia being inserted there, making things worse. All the drama. The Sirianni being the fire Sirianni trending nonstop. Yeah, lots of drama and everything else. This season coming into it, yes, if you start to experience struggles, you could see some, oh my gosh, mini freakouts and everything else. But it feels very different of the culture and the chemistry that you have in this squad now versus a lot of these other instances. So it'll be interesting to see. Nate, that's a good point too. Mentality and locker room culture has a lot to do with Jalen as well. Very fair. Let me see. I got one from Jack here. Appreciate the 5, Jack. Says, don't sleep on Daniels. He put up more points than Jalen with far less talent around him. I'm not sleeping on Daniels, but I don't think that he could be. I think that there could be a little bit of a regression. And maybe it's not as much on Jaden Daniels, but I would say Cliff Kingsbury has a track record of having pretty good seasons initially, and then much worse because he kind of gets, I don't know, telegraphed. People see what's coming. Ace Flame, what's up? You made the stream just in time. Going to do the giveaway here in just a bit before we wrap. So, BG signed Super Bowl jersey for people hanging out and staying on the live stream. So once we do this thing, again, don't leave. Because if it's not claimed by somebody on the live stream, I'll spin it again. And we'll keep doing this till somebody on the live stream claims that jersey so that I can ship it out to you. IBH with a 10. Appreciate that, man. Says, spot on, Josh. It starts in the trenches on both sides of the ball. The Eagles dominate on both. Also, I'm going to be expecting a possible slow start if the starters get no snaps in the preseason. See, that's another fair point. If they don't get any snaps in the preseason, which I think that's what we all pretty much expect to happen because that's kind of Sirianni's MOs. He usually gives rest. I'm okay with it personally. I know one of the streams, I can't remember which one, but one of them we asked or brought up that point of like, okay, are people... Do you want the starters to play? Do you want them to rest? What's your preference? And the case can certainly be made. We've seen in past instances that they get time off and they don't play in the preseason, and we have this slow, sluggish start. So maybe we do. Maybe we play them, and then you avoid it. I just say it's not worth the risk. Keep them healthy. Go out into the season. You just won a Super Bowl doing that, so I would anticipate that's what Sirianni does. But yes, that's certainly a fair point, especially with the early part of the schedule. Maybe it is a slow start. You win the opener versus Dallas. You go to KC. At KC, we do play the Chiefs well, but then you play a home game against the Rams. Or do they get revenge? But that's in Philly. At Tampa, that'll be tough. That'll be very tough. It's going to be the Heat, and I think the exact same day, if I'm not mistaken, going back to play in Tampa. But we owe them one. It's been 2 in a row. Losing to Tampa, definitely owe them. Then it's a home game versus Denver, at New York, at Minnesota, home game versus New York, then a bye week. Like, if you go 2 and... I don't know. If you go 3-1 off that first four weeks there, I think you could go another 3-1. Like, you could very easily be 6-2 at the bye week, at week 9. And then you go to Green Bay, we run the tush push 150 times, and win by 22 points. Wasn't that what it was? We won by 22. That was the votes. I would love it if they just troll. So, like, all the tush push, make sure that they know exactly how many votes they lost by. It would be pretty good. I think that a lot of us are rooting for that. I'm going to be at the game in Lambeau, so that'll be even better. And I think I've mentioned this before, but I've got the push on t-shirt, the troll t-shirt that I'll be repping so that everybody knows. It'll be good. Allo, it's like saying Aikman shouldn't be a Hall of Famer because he had a super team. Well, that's a good case and argument to be made to a Cowboys fan, for sure. Yes. And the hypocrisy very quickly comes out if you make that sort of statement. I will say. Anthony with a 5 also. Appreciate that, man. Another 5. Says, like Lamar Jackson doesn't have a super team. See, there you go. The anti-Hurts bias is sickening. Right after the Super Bowl, people was trying to give the MVP not to Jay. That they were. They were trying to give it to somebody else. Or to others. Just saying like, yeah, well, even as good as he played, he just benefited from it. I don't know. Lamar's got a good team. And again, like, I don't... Like, Burrow's got good offensive talent. He doesn't have an offensive line. But I don't mind and have a problem admitting Jalen Hurts has the best offense. Like, just look at the top, 10-ish quarterbacks. Like, the Eagles are the best. I'm sorry, the Eagles are the best offense. But that's perfectly fine, and it shouldn't be a either-or situation. It shouldn't be well, do the Eagles have a good offense, or is it Jalen Hurts being good? It could be both, and it is both. But for some reason, it's like, well, you can't necessarily say that. You got to pick one. Pick one. You can't say that the Eagles have a good quarterback because they have too good of a team. Like, I'm sorry. You have to be best offensive line. One of the top 3, if you want to argue it. Wide receiver duos. Best running back. Top, 5 tight end? I mean, Goddard's been injured, but when he's healthy, like, really good tight end. So Jalen's got weapons, yeah, and that's perfectly fine. But the number of times that it's used as a crutch to say, yeah, he's not that good of a quarterback, he's just being held up, it's ridiculous. John with a 10. Go Birds. That is all. Go Birds. Thank you. James high-key will miss Isaiah Rodgers. He was a cool-ass dude. That he was. I texted Zay. We might try to see about possibly getting him on if he's free before training camp. I know that he's with Minnesota and everything, but if he's free, we could make that happen. That would actually be a pretty fun one. There's Anthony, by the way. Good evening, everyone. Sorry that I couldn't make tonight's stream. All good. Family comes first. Everybody knows that. Family comes first, so not a problem, no worries. You're excused, sir. Seriously, though. Ayesha with the 10. Let's go, the 10 bomb. I know 2023 went from 10-1 to 1 and done. LOL, but wasn't Jalen hurt that season? His knee and thumb were messed up. 2024 team remained relatively healthy all year, so staying healthy should be a goal. It absolutely should. Those are fair points. Yes. Jalen, you're right. His knee was messed up. The finger injury. A.J. Brown was injured. Smitty was banged up. He played, but he was injured. He was injured in the playoff game. There were a number of different injuries that we were dealing with. So going into that, 100%, which there were still, some question marks and like the concussion injury, people going like, is Jalen going to be okay for the playoffs this last year? But it wasn't near to the same. There were injuries dealt with earlier in the season, but you're right. If the guys can stay healthy and it's also like the right timing of health, then there's just not there's just not a team that should be able to stack up. Like, this should be an Eagles team that goes to the Super Bowl again. Yes, tons of bias, sure. But on paper, if the squad stays healthy, I can't see how they wouldn't. You got to go out and do it. You got to make plays. You got to make it happen. Understand that. But yeah, they have all the pieces. Okay, I'm going to get this ready, by the way, because I did mention for the giveaway. So shout out to BG for signing the jersey. But this one was not claimed. So as we do, every time there's not a giveaway that gets claimed, we'll give it to people on the live stream, during the live stream. So you guys are fortunate here. Just don't leave, as I mentioned. And I'll give you the keyword to type in order to get a chance at winning this thing. So let me start capturing the messages. And all right. So as always, Allo also appreciate this. As always, miss your streams. Happy to finally make one. There you go. As always, this one, you just need to type this in one time. You don't need to do it multiple times. If you haven't already, feel free to drop a like, of course. That certainly can't hurt. But you only need to say this one time, and then you're entered. You don't need to say it multiple times. Muhammad, you're ahead of the game here. So, yes, if you just say BG, that's the comment. BG, that is it. Once you enter BG, you are entered into the giveaway. You don't need multiple comments. I believe it'll kick you out too. I believe it'll kick out your entry. So one time, it'll get you entered, and then I'm going to spin this thing here in about... I saw Remo's comment too. I'll spin this thing here in a couple minutes. And you do need to be present, so don't type BG and leave. You need to stay here so that I can spin and then see you present, and then I'll get the information from you. So good luck all. Get those entries in. This is probably the Brad Gary. Come on. This is probably one of the first ones in like a couple months, I think, or maybe there was one that was not claimed, but very few that have actually gotten to this point of somebody not claiming the giveaways. So surprising for a Brandon Graham signed Super Bowl jersey, but there you go. Stick around. Only need one comment. Only need one time of BG. Don't need multiple. I think I saw a couple people with that, but it's not going to help you, by the way. You don't get multiple entries. Yes, is everybody saying? Good luck. Good luck all. Not leaving. James, I've been here for every giveaway and I'm tired, boss. Appreciate you, man. You're a real one. As the real OGs, being here for all the giveaways, getting good opportunities and chances. Like I said, members going to have special access once we get into training camp, certainly during the season too. But we had ticket giveaways last year. The goal is to do that for just about every single game, depending on the sponsors and what they're doing. But that is very possible. So, all right. I think we're getting there of pretty much all the comments. So let's go ahead and get this thing ready. And then I'm gonna spin it. Somebody asking what size is the jersey? Let's see, what size is this? This is hold please. Thought the tag was gonna say that there. It's an XL. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't do this. It's your call if you win it, whatever you want to do. It's a signed BG jersey from the Super Bowl, so I don't wear mine around, but it's up to you if you win it. LA Kid already started with the it's rigged. This would be great if you actually won it too. Yeah, Nolan's Smith burner account will get it. Maybe. Couldn't imagine why that would happen. Okay, I think I got all the messages though. So we're gonna go ahead and spin this thing. Remember, duplicates would have gotten kicked out. So I mentioned that before. I said it before we spun. Here we go. Yes, you frame the jersey. That's what you do. All right, let's pick these. And good luck all. Who's it gonna be? Please, you gotta be present though. Astro Frost with the BG comment. Here we go. Congratulations. You have won. You have the BG jersey that I will ship to you, assuming you're still here on the stream. I just need to see another comment back from you. You got to comment and say, it's me, or I'm here, or just anything. Something in the chat so that I can see Astro Frost is still here. If not, I'm going to give it to somebody else. So don't leave. If you commented BG, don't leave yet. Congratulations. I think this has happened before, and the person has left. So let's see. Did they stick around? Are they going to claim it? Yes, like CMV said, Astro is on the clock. I need that like little ticker thing. There we go. Astro, good birds, baby. Maybe meant to be go birds. But I see the comment, so you are here. So congratulations. Okay, so you have won. I just need you to email me at thephillyspecialshow@gmail.com or DM me on one of the socials. However you want to do it. But I just need to get your info. I need you to share with me the best shipping address, and then I will get that shipped out to you. So, as always, like I've said for every single giveaway, I don't make you pay for anything. Sometimes we have those scammers and all that other stuff out there, but never make you pay for it. It's all good. Get it shipped out to you. Make sure you're good. William got beat out by the Jetsons dog. I love how people, too, very quickly were trying to claim it. But congratulations. You got it. Dub G, can I email you even if I don't win? I mean, I guess, but there's no guarantees. Seriously, though, congratulations. Do as many of these as we possibly can so you guys make this possible with this community. It is the best. Al says I'm leaving. It's rigged. I probably should leave too. Some people are saying I got to leave and I'm leaving, but I probably should leave as well. I need to jump over and help the wife real quick. I will answer this. That Loki, remember 15 months. Josh, do you know about the Spectre art guy? Yeah, absolutely. Does some incredible work. Is that just a comment in general or anything extra there? Yeah, his artwork is insane. Crazy talented. James going to get Jake the mate to kick a rock through your window. Jeez. Lasasa, this has been the Philly Special. Love this channel. Thank you. I appreciate that. Seriously. JD, we're going to have to talk about these spins, man. I know it. It's, if I could give away, what do we have? Like roughly 250 people? If I could, you guys know, I would give away 250 of these things, but try to do as many as possible. So stick around. Kramer asking whose art. Spectre art is the name. I think it's the one that has a bunch of the different Eagles one. He was at Smitty's Celebrity Softball, but he does it for a bunch of others. So yeah, he's had a number of different art pieces that he's done. Look at that at the buzzer, Matt. 10 more Philly Special Show memberships. Muhammad won't get one, but Christian, Dub G, SC Birds fan, John, Elijah, The Bench, Lex, Michael Hardy, Whoa, Damons, Darian Martin, James, nope, I'm sorry, not James. That was the last one, Darian, and there's Muhammad. Sorry. I said it before it even announced who all got it, but Matt with another one with the 10 bomb. Let's go. Jose Delphi, give us your early 7 teams that come out of the NFC this year. Good gosh. All right, I'll end it on that one. 7 teams, NFC East. All right, so Eagles, obviously. I'll say Eagles. Do I think that Dallas ends up somehow sneaking into the playoffs? Good gosh, that's there's 7 of them. Okay, so Eagles, Rams, the Lions are interesting to me because I don't know what they lost a bunch of. They lost their coordinators, but they got some talent there. Packers are looking pretty good. So Eagles, Rams, Packers, Bucks. Man, I don't even know if like the Falcons either. I'm thinking about this one too. I know John's hell's no on Dallas. I might have to pick them if we're because all 7. This is extremely early, so I've not thought about this hardly at all for all 7 teams. But Eagles, Rams, Packers, Bucks. Vikings could be good too. I'll say Lions, Cowboys. I know. I'm going to pick Dallas. 7. Man, that's tough. Who would be the other one? Yeah, I mean, I thought about the Niners or the Seahawks. They went with one. Drew, that's a fair point. The Niners have an easy schedule. Yeah, I'll do the Niners. I'll say Niners. Comes down to a lot of health and everything as well, but that could be decent enough to show up and get a playoff spot. Nate, yes, I have Dallas over Washington. Yep, I've said that a couple different times. So, Chris, you're right. Make sure wife doesn't get too mad at you for taking too long. She's the best. She lets me probably take too long on this, quite honestly. But I should jump. So. Appreciate you guys. As always, you're the best. Congrats again to Astrofrost. I'll get your info. Email me. Shoot a DM. And for everybody else, stay tuned. Got the player interview video dropping tomorrow. Should be good. Let me know thoughts. Until next time. Go Birds.